Our movie starts with Nora and Alec, two young people in their 20s who are in a relationship and are about to get engaged. One day, they decide to spend their vacation in a village in the countryside, far away from the noise of the city they live in. While on their way to the village, they get lost and end up wandering around. Nora asks Alec to stop at the first rest area they come across because she needs to use the bathroom. When they stop at the rest area, they find it closed, so Nora goes to look for a bathroom around the back. She sees an empty tent in the yard behind the rest area and notices some personal belongings like a phone and clothes inside the tent, but she doesn't see the owner anywhere. In the distance, we see a human skull lying among the grass, but Nora doesn't notice it. When Nora returns, she tells Alec what she saw and is puzzled about why the tent's owner left their belongings behind. Alec reassures her, saying that the person might have left in a hurry and forgot their stuff, or they might come back later to retrieve it. As they continue talking, Alec realizes that the fuel in their car is running low since they haven't found the right road or a gas station. Suddenly, they spot an old lady whose car has broken down on the road. Despite their fuel problem, Alec decides to stop and help her. The old lady asks Nora about her wedding ring, and when she finds out that Nora and Alec aren't married, she treats Nora with disdain, saying she's just a fling and isn't capable of handling the responsibility of marriage. Nora is shocked by the old lady's sudden change in attitude and harsh words. Alec apologizes to the old lady for not being able to fix her car, but she snaps back, calling him a failure who can't do anything right, and tells him she didn't ask for his help. Upset, Nora asks Alec to continue on their way. Back in the car, Nora scolds Alec for stopping to help a stranger on a deserted road, but Alec defends his actions by saying he just wanted to help, especially since the woman was elderly. Finally, they find a gas station. Though it's old, it's still open and working. Nora goes inside to talk to the gas station attendant, who appears nervous and acts strangely. Alec asks the attendant if there's a place they can stay for the night and continue their journey the next day. The attendant tells them about a simple wooden hotel next to the main road and mentions that the hotel owner rents rooms at a very cheap price. Alec thanks the attendant, and they head towards the wooden hotel. As they drive away, the attendant watches them through the window. In the car, Nora tells Alec that she doesn't feel comfortable with this place and wants to return to the city as soon as possible. But Alec, feeling tired from the driving, tells her he can't continue driving all the way back to the city, so he convinces her to stay the night at the hotel so they can rest and then return to the city the next day. Nora agrees on the condition that if she feels anything strange or uncomfortable, they'll leave the hotel and continue their trip back to the city. Alec agrees, and they reach the hotel. Upon arrival, Alec notices several cars parked in front of the hotel and reassures Nora that there are other people in the hotel and they won't be alone. But Nora still feels uneasy and scared. When they enter the hotel, they find the first floor empty, so Nora suggests to Alec that they should leave. However, Alec notices freshly used plates and food remains on the table and realizes that there are people in the hotel, so he decides to go upstairs to look for the hotel owner. They go upstairs and find a man on the floor of one of the hotel rooms. When he sees them, he quickly stands up and appears nervous. He asks how long they've been there, and Alec tells him they just arrived and asks to book a room for one night. Nora notices the strange and somewhat disfigured features of the hotel owner, which makes her even more afraid. The hotel owner takes them to their room and starts talking about the first time he saw the hotel and how he decided to work there until the original owner passed away, leaving the hotel to him. But Nora interrupts him rudely and tells him that they need to rest so they can continue their journey. The hotel owner apologizes and leaves the room. Alec criticizes Nora for her rude behavior towards the hotel owner, but Nora tells him that she's scared of him and everything in this place. We then see the top bunk bed in Nora and Alec's room covered in blood, but they don't notice it. The two of them go to sleep to rest after their long journey. As soon as they fall asleep, a strange man, who had been hiding under their bed, emerges. He looks like a farmer but is wearing a strange and terrifying mask on his face. He approaches Nora and Alec while they are asleep. The next morning, Nora wakes up to find herself outside the hotel, locked in an animal cage. She's terrified and screams for Alec to help her, but then the strange farmer appears in front of her, wearing the same scary mask. He bangs on the cage to make her stop screaming. Nora desperately tries to find a way to escape the cage, eventually finding a rock to try and break the lock. The farmer reappears with another person who looks just like him and wears the same mask. They throw a strange substance on Nora, causing her to pass out. When Nora wakes up again, she finds herself in a strange room, tied up by her hands and feet. Suddenly, the door opens, and the farmer enters, injecting Nora with a strange syringe similar to those used on animals. Despite Nora's resistance, they manage to overcome her since she is restrained. Nora screams and asks for help, but to no avail. After a few minutes, two people in the same scary masks come in and drag Nora back to the cage, moving her around the farm. Nora notices that everyone on the farm is wearing the same masks all the time, as if they are used to seeing the same scene every day, Nora being dragged in the cage. Nora is shocked when she sees a body hanging in the middle of the farm, with one of the farmers cutting into it like it's an animal. The farmers take Nora to a dark room and put her inside. As for Alex, he wakes up to find himself trapped in a cage in a livestock barn, surrounded by many young men his age, all restrained in the same manner. Alex tries to scream and ask for help. A farmer wearing a pig mask, accompanied by two other farmers, enters the barn and starts selecting from the imprisoned youths. The chosen ones are dragged by the neck with a net and given a powerful blow to the head, causing them to lose consciousness. Alex sees what happens to the youths, and this terrifies him even more. He tries to find a way out of the cage, but his excessive movement and commotion attract the farmer's attention. He is selected, dragged with the net, and struck hard on the head, causing him to lose consciousness as well. The farmers transport the selected youths to a moving cart headed to the butcher shop. The pig-masked farmer goes to the butcher shop, greets the butchers there, and takes away the shop's waste, which consists of human hands. While the farmer is on his way to dispose of the waste, he sees another farmer standing next to his cart. He goes to help him and transfers the new victim who has arrived at the farm, placing her in the barn. Afterwards, the pig-masked farmer meets the hotel owner in the village and asks him about the farm's news. The hotel owner mentions that they need to increase the meals because they have guests visiting today. The farmer doesn't respond to the hotel owner's questions or comments. The hotel owner goes to the farm's kitchen and gives instructions to the workers about the additional meals needed, asking them to cook meticulously, and without any mistakes. The hotel owner then receives a phone call from an important person informing him that they will visit today. Therefore, the hotel owner decides he must receive them in a special way. The pig-masked farmer accompanies the hotel owner to the barn where the girls are kept, and finds them restrained in cages connected to milking machines. They inject the girls with chemicals and hormones to increase the milk production in their bodies, then exploit them for milk. While the hotel owner supervises the quantity and production of milk on the farm, he notices one of the women behind a small cage. He opens the cage and takes her baby, and the mother pleads with him to let her child go. The farmer weighs the baby and then kills it in front of the mother, smashing its skull and throwing it on the ground with force. The devastated mother screams for her baby who died before her eyes and she couldn't protect him. After leaving the dairy barn, the gas station attendant, who we learn is mentally unstable, sees the mother screaming for her baby and laughs, treating her like a pet animal. This makes the mother scream at him and call him a sick and crazy person. At this moment, the hotel owner receives a call from a customer complaining about finding a tooth in the meat he bought. The hotel owner manages to calm the customer's anger and resolve the issue. At the same time, one of the farmers comes to supervise the milk production in the dairy barn. When he enters, he is shocked by what he sees and runs to the pig-masked farmer to report what he has seen. The hotel owner and the other farmers rush to the dairy barn, where they find the mother who had her baby killed minutes ago is also dead. The hotel owner realizes that the gas station attendant is the one who killed her because she is stabbed with his special spear. He orders the remaining farmers to search for him and bring him back immediately. They find him in an abandoned place, playing with the heads of two corpses as if they were animals and eating them. The hotel owner takes him, and when he sees him, he becomes furious about what he did and the major impact it had on milk production. He punishes him by making him work extra hours on the farm and assigns one of the farmers to prevent him from attempting to escape. The gas station attendant starts his work, goes with the farmer to the barn, and places food for the captives outside the cages, treating them like livestock and cattle. But suddenly he leaves the food box and escapes from the farmer to a flower nursery, where he takes a certain plant and goes to the hotel owner. When the hotel owner sees the plant in his hand, he forgives him for his actions and decides to drop the punishment. At that moment, Nora hears someone in pain from behind the fence. When she stands to see who is in pain, she finds a girl connected to milking machines, looking extremely exhausted. Nora asks her why she is here and what is happening to her, and the girl replies that it's better not to know the truth. However, with Nora's insistence, the girl is forced to tell her the truth. They are imprisoned in a strange farm, and will remain imprisoned forever no matter how hard they try to escape. The farm owners use the captured women as dairy cows, milking them after injecting them with hormones to increase their milk production, and they also inject them with substances that make them unable to conceive. The girl says she has been kidnapped and imprisoned in the farm for 2 years, but her days are numbered because her milk production has decreased, so the farmers will dispose of her and kill her to benefit from her meat. Noura hears a girl screaming from the other side of the fence and finds out that there is a girl named Ashley on the other side, who was kidnapped 2 weeks ago. Noura reassures Ashley, telling her that they will get out of there soon, but Ashley says she has tried many times to escape the farm but has failed every time. Suddenly, the door opens, and 2 farmers come in, tie up the girl who confessed the truth to Noura, and kill her, removing all her internal organs and taking her away. Noura watches in shock and fear, and collapses on the ground. Suddenly, she feels the door open again, and she is scared thinking that it's her turn now. But she is surprised to see Alec, who is severely injured from his escape attempt. Noura is relieved to see him and feels hopeful that they might escape. They quickly leave the barn and try to find an exit from the entire farm. Noura spots a tractor and decides to use it to escape, but she doesn't know how to operate it. She notices a farmer nearby, so she quickly gets off the tractor and helps Alec, who is struggling due to his injuries. They see a church nearby, so Noura runs to hide in it with Alec. When they enter the church, Noura feels that it is strange and different from any other church because even the religious images in the church depict animal masks similar to those worn by the farm people. Before Noura can find an exit, she senses someone approaching the church, so she quickly hides behind a door with Alec. A farmer from the farm enters the church and begins to pray. Noura takes advantage of the farmer's distraction and sneaks out with Alec to escape from the church, but the farmer senses unusual movement, and when he looks behind him, he sees them escaping. The farmer runs and rings the church bell to alert the other farmers in the farm about Noura and Alec's escape. Noura runs, helping and supporting Alec, but suddenly Alec's leg gets caught in a metal trap. Noura tries with all her might to help him free his leg from the trap but fails, and notices 2 farmers approaching them. She apologizes to Alec and is forced to leave him and run away, or she will die with him. The farmers reach Alec and kill him with a large rock by smashing his head. Noura hides in the farm again and finds a young man imprisoned in a cage. The farmers search the place but don't see Noura. After they leave, Noura runs to the young man and begs him to help her and tell her how to escape the farm. Due to Noura's persistence, the young man tells her that they use a large bus to transport goods, and that she will find the key on the table in the main house. Noura thanks him and heads to the vehicle parking area. She finds an open truck with one of the farmers in front of it. She grabs a hammer and runs at him, striking him with the hammer, killing him instantly. Noura considers removing his mask to see his face but doesn't have time as the other farmers appear behind her. She gets into the truck and drives away from the farm quickly. Noura feels victorious as she finally manages to escape from the farm, but her joy quickly fades when she finds that the truck's gasoline has run out, and the truck stops in the middle of the road. Noura gets out of the truck and runs back towards the farm, entering the farm's restaurant and trying to escape through the basement window. The farmers catch up with her and grab her by her hair. She manages to fend them off and reaches the window, and although they are pulling her by her legs, she uses all her strength to escape. Noura remembers Ashley, who was with her in the farm, so she runs to the barn and rescues Ashley, taking her with her. She sees the bus the young man told her about and runs towards it, but remembers the keys and goes back to the main house to get them. She finds the keys and returns with Ashley to the bus, leaving Ashley in the back seat and taking the driver's seat herself. She starts the bus and feels triumphant as they are about to escape the terrifying farm. But she is shocked to find that all the farm's people are sitting in the bus waiting for them, wearing masks similar to those of the other farmers in the farm. The film ends with Ashley and Noura being roasted like lambs, presented to an important guest of the hotel owner, who sits among them wearing a mask similar to those of the other farmers in the farm.